to Weird Wednesday, everybody. This is John, or Used Toy, for baloneybrain.com. We are sorry about last week's debacle.
Snafu.
Absolutely. But here I am sitting in the Old Crow Bar for what we had a wonderful opening weekend. Bad Veins rocked the house. And how was your weekend, Daryl?
You know what? I played music. First time I've done 4 nights in a week in a while, and I had great time. And Spider McCluskey and his wife and some others came over for dinner on Sunday. I just had, weekend to die for. You all should just be envious of me. It is good to be me.
Well, we've got some great stories. For some of them are reappearing from last week since we got unexpectedly knocked off the air.
Who knew?
What do you got for us, Daryl?
Oh, because I love the stories. I even put up, when we started to post it last week, I said, this is some of the funniest stuff I think that we've ever had on this program. And so we're going to kind of revisit it since we got ripped off and didn't get to use them last week. But I love this one. This is from the United Nations. And the deputy U.S. ambassador to the UN is Joseph Tosella. He has gone to the General Assembly's Budget Committee and proposed that we make, this is actually his exact wording, we make the modest proposal that the negotiating rooms should in the future be an inebriation-free zone. In other words, they don't want these people coming and voting on budget ideas when they're drunk.
Probably a good idea. Although we were pretty successful when we had our happy hour version of Weird Wednesday.
We should maybe move for this instead of when we're doing it now to a little bit later in the afternoon and just incorporate that on a regular basis.
Cheers to that.
I'll drink to it myself.
Well, speaking of alcohol-related incidents, a Siberian woman has been accused of murdering her husband over a pet cat. Now, I know this is hard to believe, but alcohol was involved.
No.
They had been drinking to the point of intoxication when the incident occurred. He threatened the cat, so she stabbed him 3 times.
He
was dead at the scene.
Oh, man. Well, my tennis racket needs restrung. We pick on Florida and we pick on Ohio so much, and California and New York, and I'm stinking Jets with. But we're kind of going international this week to a large extent. In Jakarta, a police spokesman said last week that an Indonesian woman had drowned her 9-year-old son in the bath, claiming she was worried that his small penis would affect the prospects for his future.
Wow.
I know.
I don't even know what to say about that.
I want to say, Mother, thank you for sparing my life. There's an 18-year-old woman from the capital of Jakarta. She told police her son had a small penis prior to being circumcised, but that it appeared to shrink even further after the operation. Now, John, I had an old friend many years ago. His name was Jay Hickman, and Jay passed away a number of years back. But he was a dirty stand-up comic. They called him the Duke of Dirt. And one of his lines I'll never forget. He says, "I never understood circumcision." He says, "How do you cut it off before you know how much you're going to need?"
That is excellent.
International.
Well, to bring it back to the States, I've got one more international story, but I'm saving that one for the end. This one, Raymond Kallenberger allegedly leads Maryland police on minivan chase, crashes into the river, and then gets naked.
Yeah, baby.
The guy starts off in Maryland. The police are chasing him, a stolen vehicle, armed robbery. It was actually a carjacking. So he drives 90 miles an hour all the way into Pennsylvania, drives into a river, and then gets out on top of the van as it's sinking, gets naked, and does a dance with his underwear over his head. If you're going to go out in a blaze of glory, that's the way to do it. Reminds me of Thelma and Louise.
I have nothing to say to that. Well, here's Here's one that caught my attention. I also like that, and this comes from Stockholm, Sweden. Although the stars of the story are Iranian female activists. Muslim women are required to wear this headscarf thing that's called a hijab. I'm sorry, and so these women are protesting. They're members of the Iranian Communist Party and the Organization Against Violence on Women. And so what they did is they painted their bodies. They took off their tops, and in protest of having to wear this, they took off this, and they painted on their bodies. My nudity is my protest, and no to hijab. I thought this was. I'm fully supportive of these topless Iranian women, and their cause. But I was thinking, if I were to write this story, the headline is the grabber here, if you know what I mean. But I thought we would call it the hijab jihad.
Hey, you are truly a copywriter.
I missed my calling, I believe.
Okay, I've got one, and this is just so bizarre, I don't even know where to begin. 4 people have been jailed in China for digging up corpses to sell as brides for traditional ghost marriages, where if a dead single man needs to be buried with a wife for the afterlife. So they dig up corpses, sell them to the families of dead single men to be buried. So you get like a wife for the afterlife?
I guess I guess that is so weird that I don't even have anything to say to that.
Well, 10 corpses that they just dug up out of the ground, they sold for $40,000.
Okay, so, or was it like a buy one get 9?
That was the total from all 10. But it strikes me that this is like going green. We're going to just recycle our corpses.
Well, they got about 1 trillion people in China. That must give them like about 8 trillion skeletons. This could be big business if it were to catch on around the world. I got a bone for you, honey.
Nice.
Well, I did throw this one out last week because, and I mentioned picking on New York a while ago. That's so easy. But there was the manager of the New York Yankees, Brian Cashman, was down here in Florida, and he was doing a benefit. He jumped out of a plane. He did a skydive, and it really was for a good cause. It was for the Wounded Warrior Project, which helps and supports our soldiers who have come back from overseas.
Cheers to the Wounded Warriors Project.
But, yes, absolutely. But Cashman jumped out of his plane, and I guess he hit hard and he broke his ankle.
Aww.
I know. In the old West, they would have just shot him.
Stinking Yankees.
And stinking Jets. Anyway, I'm all done with that. I've had a good time again this week, and hope you all have too. Are you on the material too, John?
I am. Thank you for joining us.
I look forward to this every week, and next week, this is like 2-week-old material, so we'll have all fresh stuff. But this was just really too good. My story about the women and the jihad, the jihad. I just came up with another one just while we were talking about that. What's the old book about? Men are from penis and women are from bras. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week.